everybody. Welcome to 50/50 Booking. Host Peter as normal. Here's your second dose of 50/50 Booking for the weekend. Obviously, yesterday's was everything else. Today we have Aaron here, Kieran Colour, so you guys should know it's WWE time. So, but before we get too far into the WWE thing, as some of you may have noticed from the last time we did this show, Aaron's had a hair colour change, which means he's changed charities. So we're going to bring up Aaron's page so everyone can see. There you go. The link should be in the description, so check it out. Cool. Aaron's going to just briefly tell us a bit about what he's doing now and why.
This month is actually my birthday month. I turned 24 on the 17th, and I suffer with epilepsy. So I thought for the month that is my birth month, I get to choose a charity that I want to help. So I chose the Epilepsy Society because I'm epileptic. It just makes sense. I
think it does, definitely. So, but there you go, guys. So yeah, so check out those links and see what you can do. Spread the word. You know, any sort of help is appreciated.
100%.
Yeah, obviously donations are great if you can afford it, but obviously we all understand what time's like at the moment. So any sort of help is helpful. So yep. Definitely. So that's Camera Colours. The sponsor of this show, like yesterday's show, we do have a sponsor. It's me. I'm sponsoring myself like I did on yesterday's show. So during the light photography, basically we are back to some semblance of business from Monday because the lockdown restrictions are easing, so we can do one-to-one shoots on locations. That's pretty much all we can do at the moment, with some limited stuff going on. But obviously, anyone wants to book anything further in advance, obviously you can let us know. But there we go. So check that out. Links again in the descriptions as well. Right. Now that we've got our plugs out of the way, we should always enjoy the plugs, because it's a big thing in wrestling as well. Always plug your own shit.
I could say so much right now, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, well, I wish Vince McMahon would plug his own shit, but that's another thing entirely.
No, he just puts it in a steel cage instead.
Well, I think the Psychosis did a much worse thing with, but we'll get to that in a minute. So when we get there. But yeah, obviously, the week started off fairly happily, though, considering what happened on Raw, which I'm sure everyone probably knows by now, is the fact that The Miz is no longer the champion.
Yep, happy days.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't see it or have been living under rocks and God knows what, Bobby Lashley is now your WWE champion, and good is my response to that one, because you know, the guy, I think he deserves it personally.
After his waiting and stuff.
Yeah, the career Bobby Lashley's had as well, because obviously you're familiar with certain aspects of his career, but with his Bellator, with his TNA, well, his Impact run, he was a world champion there as well. I think he deserves it, especially the last year or so he's had with MVP and Hurt Business. I think that's really helped elevate him as much. With the way the roster is at the moment, you can't think of many other people who probably should be world champion, in all honesty. At least I can't.
No, I can't really, to be honest, either. Can't really argue with that.
Yeah. He's one of a handful of champions of African American descent as well, which is always a good thing to represent, because not enough of those in the history of WWE. There's been like 4 or 5, I think, at most. So need to share those out a bit more. I think definitely, simply because it's not even a racial thing at this point. It's a case of diversification on your roster. I mean, look at the different types of people they've got.
Diversity.
Yeah, it's not going. It's a lot of these people. It's not like you'd be giving them stuff. They are talented people. Give them a shot. Ricochet, Cedric Alexander.
Oh, they gave him a shot, but he turned into cannon fodder against Brock Lesnar.
Right. They gave him a shot, but not an actual shot. Is probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
But and then you look at the way some of these people get booked, and you think, why would you want to work for them? So, yeah.
I mean, the start of the night actually was pretty decent. Miz and Morrison trying to persuade McIntyre to be the three M's, the three M egos. That made me laugh. It was terrible, but it made me laugh.
Yeah, it is definitely terrible. But the funny part being is with that, obviously those two together, it completely slipped my mind. I was watching one of the online quiz things that one of the channels do here on YouTube, and the special guest was Melina, and Melina used to be their manager, Miz Morrison's, right? Well,
Yeah.
Miz and Nitro when it was Mercury, but it's a similar gimmick essentially. And I just looked at that and I was thinking, yeah, it's definitely 10 years ago. So,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's Morrison. Morrison's gotten better. Miz's problem is that he hasn't.
No.
So, but at least that's something that they tried. But there was no chance McIntyre was ever going to accept that. Let's be honest.
It would have been more creative if they'd have let Morrison get the Mr. Money in the Bank briefcase, because he's just been Miz's side piece for so many years now. It's kind of cruel.
It's kind of funny you say side piece, because that's technically what, like, if you're having an affair, that's what the other person's called, is a side piece. So
I saw an interview a little while ago of Maurice, and she said that I think this was before Morrison came back. They're such good friends in and out of WWE that sometimes people think that Miz is Morrison's significant other.
I think that also has down to the fact that they have similar origins in wrestling. They both come up through reality stuff, because Morrison did Tough Enough and Miz did Real World, then was also a Tough Enough contestant. So I think that may be why they are close like that. But obviously, they also hit the business at roughly the same time.
What made me laugh is Miz was like the Tough Enough guy. But then when it came to NXT first coming around and he had to mentor Daniel Bryan, he didn't have a inch of sympathy or anything for him. It was just like he'd forgot like that he was part of something pretty much exactly the same.
The big issue
years back.
The thing is, people had a lot of issues with that, but one of the biggest ones being that Miz at that point in time had what, 2-3 years experience. Daniel Bryan at that point in time had 15 years
15 years experience.
So it's like, yeah, we all know that's
it was
bullshit.
Like the blind leading the all-seeing master of the wrestling ring. It was like, huh.
Yeah, that's like me giving you my professional camera and expecting you to be able to take top-end photos.
I mean, I think I do a better job than what
teaching you anything. That's essentially what
I worked with cameras before.
Not my kind of cameras. That's my point. You couldn't use the cameras I use because you've never used them before. That's my point, basically. You may eventually learn how to use it, but at the same time, the problem is, this is the comparison, because Miz never really taught him anything in that role. Not that Bryan needed the teaching, but that's not the point I'm making it. It was clear that he had no idea. It's basically the thing.
Yeah, he just wanted to put over his ego more than anything.
It didn't help because all the smart fans knew that Daniel Bryan was more experienced and more talented. So that's never going to work, especially at that point in time. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, for the most part, apart from stupid title reigns, Miz and Morrison are pretty good at what they do. Just leave them there.
Yeah.
Just don't have them win world titles. Well, not Miz. Morrison, I think, possibly could if he's booked right to do so.
Yeah.
Because Morrison's another one like Lashley. Morrison's a former Impact World Champion, so it's not like he hasn't been a world champion.
No.
So I think he could do it. Plus Lucha Underground experience as well. I think he actually was Lucha Underground champion, so there is that.
Yeah. So what did you think of the Drew versus Sheamus match?
that's pretty much what you'd expect from Drew and Sheamus. Let's be honest.
It was all right. It was just like a heavy hitting bit of fun, to be honest.
Well, that's kind of my point. It's what I expect from them too.
I did like the ending where they both kind of like stood up for each other. They both went for their significant finishes, but Drew just managed to connect before the road kick did.
Well, that's it.
Clever.
Those moves are pretty much done almost the same way, so it's a good way to do that. The only issue you could have technically is that Drew's slightly taller. So you could have had a malfunction there, but I think they did pretty well for themselves. Also, another case of their friends in away from wrestling as well, so they know each other very well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So I think that maybe helps with chemistry-wise, because those guys and, Wade Barrett, they're all quite close in independent wrestling and still are now, so...
Yeah, Barrett's been seen around the PC Center, obviously, because of the whole NXT thing. But there's like been a couple of whispers. Oh, is he coming back? Is he going to be wrestling anytime soon? Well,
I know he's certainly fit and he's able to do so if he wants to, but it depends whether he wants to or not. Is the honest answer to that. And the way WWE treated him the first time, I'm not so sure he'd want to.
No.
So I think he's better off with what he's doing right now, in all honesty. But there you go.
Next on the card, I think, was Naomi versus Nia Jax. And to be honest, that was a blink and you'll miss it match. It was kind of pointless.
Sometimes matches aren't worth having.
No, wasn't. It was a waste of time. I was just sitting there watching it, and I was like, "This is boring." We know Naomi's gonna get squashed, unless there's like a surprise roll up or something. Just like,
yeah, or Nia's gonna botch.
Oh, her poor holes.
Yeah, because we all know what Nia's like, and she's not the best. And I mean, a lot of it, to be fair, I don't think it's her fault. It's where they put her.
Yeah, it's down to WWE creative.
So, I think she could be very good, but I think they try and get her to do too much. Is probably what it is. She needs to stick to basic stuff, and I think she'd be much better off.
Yeah,
be a monster. You don't need to be anything else.
I mean, you could always send her to Smackdown and get her to join the Bloodline or something.
Well, you've got the what do you call it? Apparently, she said something about Reginald. Oh, apparently he's cute.
Yeah, Smackdown. Yeah, I was just like, please no.
Yeah,
please no. Don't do with Reginald what they tried to do with Enzo Amore. Please no.
Oh yeah, that worked out well, didn't it?
Yeah, that worked out killer. Please don't do this. Please don't use the storyline that you wanted to use previously.
I say, going by that logic, Reginald's going to be out of wrestling and probably up an assault charge in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So, obviously, our wrestling fans, the fans watching, will probably know I'm referring to what happened to Enzo. Although Enzo, in all fairness to Enzo, just to clarify, he was not found guilty of anything. The case collapsed due to lack of evidence.
Yeah, I mean, the whole theme of Monday Night Raw this week was Miz tries, Miz fails.
To weasel out the match.
I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Because after the Naomi versus Nia match, you had the first hour was up, so Bobby versus Miz. Miz ran away from the match, and you're just like, well, I don't blame him, but you're still thinking, why didn't the officials think of that in the first place? You've just wasted 5 minutes of our lives.
Well, if defense of Miz, it's consistent with his character. That's good character work from him right there. It's consistent, and that's what I like from performers. Be consistent. You may not necessarily like what they do, but as long as they're consistent with it, I at least can respect that. And running away from Lashley is both consistent for The Miz, and pretty much most normal people would do the same thing. Yeah.
Smart.
Exactly. So no issue with that at all. But you're right about the officials. You would think, knowing what The Miz is like, the officials would have thought, hang on.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's nothing keeping him from running away. Oh, well, we'll have the match anyway and see if he's got the balls. No, of course he's not got the balls.
Well, that's because you know why he can do these things, because there's no authority figures in WWE anymore, because the Mamad's got away with them all. Oh, hello, Adam Pearce. How you doing?
Oh, hey, Shane McMahon. I thought you were dead.
Yeah. But there's no authority figures.
Oh, no, none at all. That kind of brings you to the next match. Adam Pearce, or what I like to call him, Nicholas 2.0, and Braun Strowman versus the Hurt Business for the tag team titles. Only this time...
Yeah, go on.
This time, yeah, no, Nicholas didn't get the gold.
Right. I would say, in all fairness to Adam Pearce, he used to be a wrestler. He has wrestling experience. This is why the Nicholas thing is not really the same comparison. And good old Scrap Iron. But obviously, at this point in time, he's been retired for a while now. So he's going to be out of ring shape and stuff. I mean, you just look at the guy. You would not expect him to be able to win a match. I mean, Strowman, sure. But, yeah, the Hurt Business, if you let them anywhere like Pierce, you'd expect them to beat him. And, of course, look what happened. I mean, if you're the Hurt Business...
I kind of want to find out if, like, this whole Adam Pearce and Braun Strowman thing's going to end up going anywhere. Because if it's just one of those, like, throwaway matches that Braun's had in the past at WrestleMania against TV show hosts, it's just like, not for it. Not for it at all.
Well, there is a rumour circulating, and I don't know how true this is, so I will caveat with this, I don't know if this is true or not, that apparently Braun might be getting Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. I don't know if this is true. This is something I've heard. Yeah, I know.
I heard the same thing, but Shane versus AJ Styles, Shane versus Seth Rollins, Shane versus Aleister Black or Ricochet, or Bo Dallas if they can find him in catering. Like,
well, apparently the dirt sheets apparently the dirt sheets can find him in catering, so you'd think that the talent would be able to find Bo Dallas.
Yeah, but yeah, any of those guys against Shane McMahon, fine. But why are you putting Braun Strowman against Shane McMahon? If this is what's going to happen, I'm not even going to bother watch it. Shane's going to get flattened or have to cheat his way to victory. And let's face it, it's going to be a squash match.
It could end up being one of those things that'll be fun to watch up until the ending, because Shane will probably fluke win it. But it'll be fun to watch Shane get his butt annihilated by Strowman. But Shane McMahon will be, oh, I want a fluke win because I'm the money.
I mean, if WWE were actually sensible, they'd use what happened at Survivor Series a couple of years ago with Braun Strowman grabbing Triple H by the throat at the end of the match. They bring that back into the thingy.
Something that was never followed up on.
And no, it was never followed up on. So in the middle of Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman's match, bring Triple H out and make it a 2-on-1 handicap match. And it's just like, I'm the authority. You've got to do what I say. And then have them beef it out. Because he's just going to get squashed. I mean, I like to see it, but he is going to get squashed if it happens.
It would, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'd like to see Braun hurt people. It's fun to watch. To caveat, I mean, in the wrestling terms, I don't mean I actually want him to go out hurting people. Big difference.
No.
Because in wrestling terms, it's fun to watch.
I mean, the only difference between Adam Pearce and Nicholas was that the 10-year-old could actually get the job done.
The 10-year-old is also related to a better referee.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you of a certain age, you
So-
won't remember Shane McMahon when he was younger was a referee.
Mhm.
You can actually spot him on certain pay-per-views as well, like Survivor Series ones, where he's the outside official.
Sheamus was actually security as well.
Yeah, there's a few. I kind of touched upon this yesterday with the High Spots podcast. We listed off a bunch of people who used to be extras in skits, because a lot of them now work for other companies. But yeah, there's a lot of them where you've got people who are now wrestlers for WWE who used to be a bit part of players. We touched upon LA, the LA guy. Yeah, but that's not WWE anymore. So
LA
that's
Knight.
yeah, LA Knight, who's used to be Eli Drake. He was once one of those security guys. Now he's in NXT. But there's a few of them. And
I mean, the most memorable one for me is Ty Dillinger, because Shawn Michaels super kicking him in the face. I just kicked Stan. Like,
I think you're being bellowed for, by the way.
yeah, I am. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, that works.
What?
So yeah, family life, people during a lockdown. What you gonna do? Well, while Aaron's off doing that, yeah, obviously there's many times where companies get basically local talent jobbers essentially to come in. So yeah, it's all good fun. Just bear with me a sec, folks. I just got to do something very quickly. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Yeah, my dinner's ready. And Aaron's back as well. Good timing. So, while you disappeared, I had to run and get my dinner.
Ah, fair enough. This has been my breakfast and my lunch.
Cool. Fair enough. My snacks to get me through later on, because I'll be watching something later on. That's for tonight. So
Galaxies.
yeah, but because it's not related to what we're talking about, it's other company business, so we don't talk about that stuff here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we were talking about local talent who basically they insert as extras, who some of them end up being quite well known.
Yeah.
So, I can give you a really famous example. People will know this one though. There was a WrestleMania a while back where there's a John Cena entrance where there was loads of gangsters. Right? You have to think of it. One of them was CM Punk.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, with Triple H's entrance a few manias ago, you had Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky.
Yeah,
all in gold.
But as you started that, it actually clicked in my brain. Yeah, they were his three henchwomen. And there's a funny skit online where somebody plays that video going, I wonder what happened to those three women. I wonder if they ever did anything. We all know full well who they are. So.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, particularly in wrestling, is you never know what you'll get just by doing breaks and stuff. But you have to be careful with that sort of stuff, apparently, as well.
Hmm.
But it's still better than being in the position of someone like Ricochet or Aleister Black.
Yeah, well, I mean, somebody in that kind of position as well was Jackson Riker. It was good to see him back this week at the Elias versus Damian Priest match. He hadn't been there for a few weeks.
Ah, is that our Bad Bunny segment? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing though. When you have celebrities involved in wrestling, usually they only turn up to the big things. But what I like about Bad Bunny is he's turning up pretty much weekly to the Raws leading up to it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a good thing. Obviously, at the moment of the pandemic, it's much easier for people not to have other things to do. But still, he doesn't have to do it. But I think it works better for them as a unit and storyline wise if he's there.
Yeah.
So, and of course, the upshot of the fact that Miz is no longer world champion is you're now probably going to get Morrison and Miz against Bunny and Priest at WrestleMania.
Yep.
So,
I'm just hoping it's kickoff show so that way.
It won't be. No way. Because Bad Bunny's too high profile. It won't be a main event thing, but it will be. It will be on the actual card, though. Simply because of Bad Bunny. I mean, whether you like Bad Bunny or not, I've never heard any Bad Bunny songs, so I don't know. But he apparently is successful and he's well known, and it's a certain market they like to try and target, which is the Latino market. So
yeah,
I think it'll be on the main card.
The match between Elias and Damian Priest, probably the best match of the night, unless you're going on Comedy Factor, in which case it was Miz versus Lashley.
Well, if you go on Comedy Factor, technically it's the Miz against everyone.
Yeah.
So it's one of those fun things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, people, we're eating as we're going to do the show. Tough, deal with it. So, because we have lives and we have hungers and needs. So there you go. Also, I don't want my food getting cold.
I mean, my food's cold.
Yeah, well, mine.
Otherwise, it'd be a puddle.
Well, mine is spaghetti. Cold spaghetti is not nice. So
no,
hot is better. So, but yeah, I think you're probably all right on that one though. So, barring the immense amount of joy which happened at the main event, of course. So, is there anything else you'd like to cover from Raw, or should we get to that match?
I mean, the Randy Orton segment this week was just boring.
Yeah,
so not much else to say on that.
It's why I was going to skip it.
Yeah, the Charlotte versus Shayna match was all right. Retribution versus Riddle was just quick and stupid. But Ollie versus Riddle, that I was surprised by the win, to be honest. I'm surprised they let Ollie have a win over the United States champion.
It's a thing WWE particularly do far too much is they let the champions be beat in non-title matches. I'm not a fan of it. I mean, every so often, maybe, but they do it far too much. It's not a knock on that. It's not a knock on Ali, because I like Ali. I think Ali is a great wrestler. But the way he's been positioned and booked, why is he beating Riddle?
So he did it out of anger after the match, to challenge him to a match, and Riddle just went, "Yeah, come on then." And then, he got the victory. I mean, it was a distracted victory, but it was a victory nonetheless.
Well, as a heel, a victory is a victory is a victory. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah.
So, although apparently the WWE method for scoring a victory, which is really should be basically, there's one move in WWE which, no matter how good you are, there is no counter to it because you'll always get pinned, and that is the roll up from behind.
Yep. Small cradle out of nowhere.
Yeah, surprise small packages, cradles, schoolboy roll-ups, anything like that. If you get stuck in one of those, apparently you can't kick out because nobody can.
Nope.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much most of the trash out of Raw, anyway. Because I don't like calling it that, but that is what it essentially was. Because nobody put any effort or planning into those matches. I mean, not the performers. I'm talking about management.
Yeah.
The performers, no issue with any of them. I mean, I would say I personally don't like Charlotte, but that's more of a character thing than a wrestler thing. Charlotte herself, I think, is a great wrestler, but I don't like her character. I never have.
No, it's like spoiled little rich girl, and you're just like,
yeah, it's essentially they are trying to make her dad.
Yeah, trying too hard, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not necessary. If she's going to be that way, she can do that on her own, and she'll be much better at it than them trying to get her to do it.
I mean, Rick said he never had to act a day in his life. He just was himself.
Yeah, most of the best wrestling characters that you've ever seen in a wrestling ring is that person, but just turned up. Austin, Rock, Punk.
Yeah.
Even Hogan. Whether you like Hogan or not, Hogan's on that list too. Not Ciampa though. Ciampa was just Ciampa.
Well, that kind of brings us to NXT a bit. Ciampa and Timothy versus the champions. So I was like, why is this happening?
Yeah, just that we should probably just make sure everybody really understands, because we didn't quite do the Raw main event, so we should just do it now. So just use the words. Lashley beat Miz. Lashley's world champion.
I was laughing all the way through.
Yeah. I
was just like, this is what I wanted. Thank you.
Do you not realise that's what everyone wanted?
It's not that often that I get to see that we get to see something that we're actually genuinely happy about.
Yeah, it's like, oh, good, pleasure. Yeah, it's great.
So hello, pleasure, my old friend.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much that's it for us. So obviously, yeah, NXT. So yeah, you've got Thatcher and Ciampa against Lorcan and Birch, if I remember correctly. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'd like somebody to explain to me why they get that match. Anyone?
Apparently, Tommaso Ciampa was working out with MSK because Wesley's still got his hand injury. And a title match because you don't have the balls to give us a title match. And then, yeah, they gave him a non-title match. And then beat them due to a distraction from Imperium. And Imperium, why Imperium? Well, because Timothy Thatcher was the next Imperium member. Which they actually spoke about on live TV.
Dun dun dun! WWE referencing something that's not WWE?
Yeah, with shock.
That's Vince must have fallen on his ass and gone, what? It's cool though. I like it when things like that are referenced. Don't necessarily have to explain where, but the fact it's happened is a good start.
Yeah. I mean, like, the way things are looking, it looks like Timothy's going to be a new member of Imperium at some point. If not, he's going to be in a big fight against Imperium with Ciampa in his corner, and it'll probably end up culminating at War Games or something like that somewhere down the line.
I wouldn't be surprised. Either one's a pretty good option, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Depends how it is. So,
I mean, the therapy session this week on NXT was pretty funny as well.
Yeah, there's something a bit too close to reality when it comes to theory and therapy, considering what Theory's been alleged to have done.
Yeah.
I say alleged because there's nobody's been found guilty of anything, but he's been accused of.
And what was that again?
I'm not saying what it is here because stuff like that does not belong here. That stuff belongs where it should belong in the process of the legal system.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't have anything else NXT wise to talk about, to be honest. The rest of it was just subpar.
oh, I do. And here we go. The women's tag titles. Yeah, don't worry. There's a point to this, right? Okay. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax defended against Dakota Kai and Rochelle. Was it Rochelle Gonzalez or Raquel?
Raquel, yeah.
Raquel. Right.
There's a K in there somewhere. Or a Q.
Raquel. I think it's a Q.
Raquel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Yeah. The referee incident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's also the fact of why are they beat Baszler and Jax winning that match? I mean, what is the point of that?
There is none. That's
okay.
Just
obviously, you mentioned the referee thing as well. So there's that as well. But there's this third thing I'm going to get to in a minute. But please enlighten people about the referee thing because not in case anyone didn't see it.
The NXT referee was knocked out. Sorry. Adam Pearce came out and ushered in a referee from Raw and decounted the 1, 2, 3.
Is that the same Adam Pearce? Apparently, he's not an authority figure because there's no authority figures.
Yes, that is exactly the same one.
Except for you've got William Regal, who's the Smackdown one, but it's the NXT one. But
yeah, but he's been that since.
I know, but it's still a funny aberration. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's great at it.
Yeah.
And so I don't have an issue with him being it. I just think it's funny when they said that there's no authority figures, but yet you've got Regal.
Well, I mean, if you want to go down that way, if you could just say it's NXT, but it's not because obviously you got Shane McMahon and Sonya Deville now, Adam Pearce, but you've also got Johnny Saint and Sid Scala in the NXT UK division.
Well, nobody counts NXT UK. That's kind of the problem it has.
Yeah, but it's a good brand.
I'm not saying it isn't, but the way it's looked upon by WWE, clearly nobody cares.
No, it's kind of been left to their own devices, and to be honest, they've done pretty well for it.
It's probably helped them in all honesty, but the problem is it means you don't get attention from people who might want to watch it because you don't know what time it's on, what day it's on, where to find it, and that's a problem for especially.
I mean, the only time somebody actually had a thumb in the works was when Vince actually gave Cesaro to Triple H and said, "Here, he's not got anything to do this week. What do you want to do?" So he sent him to NXT UK for the takeover to fight Ilya Dragunov.
Hang on, are you saying Vince McMahon is slave trading people?
That's what it sounded like when I was told about it.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. But I actually do remember that, in all fairness, though.
I mean, it was a really good match as well between Ilya and Cesaro. One of the best of takeovers.
Of course it was.
But that's just Cesaro for you, and Ilya as well.
Yeah. It's like, you put two good wrestlers in wrestling, it's amazing they'll have a very good wrestling match.
Yeah.
Who knew? Especially two people of that sort of experience as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. But obviously, you've got about the referee thing. Here is the thing I want to talk about, right? The women's tag team titles can be defended across all the brands, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why is NXT introducing a women's tag title?
I don't know.
Do you see my issue with this?
I don't know.
Yeah. it's the best explanation anyone can give. It's like, it makes no sense. This is where
No.
Dakota Kai and Gonzalez should have just won the belts.
Yeah.
Then you just give them an NXT colouring job and have them just be on NXT for a while. So, easy, solved.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need them on Raw SmackDown, those belts allow you to travel across the brand, so you can just do that.
And part of me thinking that they're not gonna be doing that yet because, like, of COVID and everything, they can't go to NXT UK and defend the titles. So the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships would only be on the NXT brand. And
you may have noticed WWE are rather flippant when it comes to COVID.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, like, majority of like pre-recorded matches and stuff like that.
Well, there's a thing. WWE's competitors are tested much less regularly than other organizations are, for an example.
Yeah.
So, which I think that's a bad thing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So, especially when you've got people who are vulnerable, like Roman Reigns.
Mm.
And he's vulnerable, for those of you who aren't aware. The guy had leukemia.
Yep.
And it's probably, there's always a chance it will come back as well. And when you've got something like leukemia, you have a vulnerable immune system anyway.
Yep.
Why do you think he went on telly for so long once this happened? It's like, yeah, I'm not going near there because I might catch that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine he's happy.
No.
So about that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you should be happy about.
I mean, it was part of the reason why Miz was actually transferred to Raw when he was on SmackDown, because he came in with COVID symptoms and caused a fucking uproar over it.
Nah, let's be honest, Miz needs to be transferred to like NXT Hollywood and just stay there and wrestle on his own.
Send him to like Alabama or someplace. I don't know.
Oh no, I wouldn't want to inflict him on the Alabama. Send it to Hollywood or something. That's somewhere he might actually fit in.
Yeah, but we don't want him to fit in. We just want him to get beaten up and left alone.
Yeah, but if you have him there, he's out of the way, so we don't have to deal with him.
Yeah, but we'll end up seeing movies with him in it, and it's.
Well, I don't, because I don't watch such things. But okay. So, yeah. Oh, they couldn't be any worse than Coming to America 2.
Could you imagine if they sent him to NXT UK?
Hang on a second. Walter. Yeah, apparently Miz wants to fight you. He called you a pussy. Yeah, see? There's a good upside to that.
Yeah.
Imagine Miz's chest afterwards.
This would have a permanent hand-sized print across his chest.
Yeah, or a triple threat match with him, Walter, and
his back.
Yeah, put Dragunov in there and Walter and Miz as a triple three-way.
Yeah, he'd have a bruise bruise here, just literally a concrete like slab shape.
I think he'd be one big bruise.
Oh yeah.
Then
he'd have like a headbutt sized like lump coming off the side of his head from like Ilya, where he torpedo muscled him.
It might have a dent.
Yeah.
Several dents.
Yeah, several dents. We're up for that. Send him over there.
Yeah. See, there is an upside to it. But obviously, we were talking about the therapy session before we got sidetracked with the way.
I feel like we just had like a therapy session talking about all the way Miz could get hurt in a match with Walter.
How to deal with our Miz issues is what that was, yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that's a pretty good solution.
I think like get 2K21 on my Xbox when it comes out and just play as Walter and beat the crap out of Miz. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see how long it takes to make his chest completely red.
Also, it's a good way to get NXT UK viewers because people are going to want to watch that.
Yeah.
See? I mean, people tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure everyone would like to watch Dragunov and Walter massacre Miz.
Yeah.
I mean, Maurice wouldn't.
Sammy up.
Yeah, I'm sure Maurice. I'm sure Maurice
look
would.
away.
Yeah, I'm sure Maurice and Maury wouldn't want to see it, but us wrestling fans would be quite happy to see that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we have Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. Go into therapy. And then it turned out that the therapy was a hoax and that she was just trying to get Austin to not like Dexter Lumis anymore.
Yeah. Maybe she should actually come see you, so that way you'd actually not like him and not feel so bad about not guessing his name when we do the Salt and Stuff podcast.
Don't.
For those of you who aren't aware, just go watch this. Go watch the podcast, and you'll understand that and why Aaron is now currently doing this. Yeah. So anyway, I don't understand what's wrong with Austin Theory liking Dexter Lumis. I think Dexter Lumis is quite good for WWE.
Yeah. Damn you, 20 questions.
Yeah. So is there anything else other than that for NXT?
NXT UK side of things, Nico Satomura versus Kaylee Ray. Probably the match of the week, in my opinion.
I will give you probably WWE match of the week, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but obviously we're talking about WWE. This is WWE program, so this is what we're talking about. So basically, for our little sphere of WWE stuff, this is Aaron's pick for you guys to go out and watch.
Yeah. WWE match of the week, Nico Satomura versus Kaylee Ray for the Women's NXT UK Championship. It's probably on the network by now.
I would think so.
Wow.
Yeah. Basically, guys, give it some love because NXT UK clearly deserves more than it gets.
Yep.
You know, it's NXT UK is also the primary reason why a lot of the UK independent companies folded because their talent got appropriated by WWE. I was going to use different words, but I don't want a lawsuit, so.
I mean, Walter's still on the side of a milk carton. I haven't seen him in 3 weeks now.
Walter is wherever Walter wants to be, and I'm not making him do anything. I like my chest as the colour it is, thanks.
I mean, part of me is thinking that he's come over to the States, is isolating for 2 weeks, and then going to appear on NXT television, like NXT, possibly in the next week or so, because that would explain like the whole Imperium thing and why they're kind of like rejigging up their standards and stuff.
Well, he is Chief Supremo.
But then at the same time, he still has the NXT UK Championship. So would he leave the NXT UK brand in the middle of a pandemic with the title? I mean, it's going to extend his title reign if he does do that, because obviously 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out, pandemic-wise.
Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but there's a difference between like the US way of doing things and the UK way of doing things, because you can't travel to certain countries and come back to the UK without staying in a hotel for 2 weeks.
Vince don't care.
Yeah, but he have like the NHS and all that lot of people banging down his door out for blood.
Oh, he just give him a bribe or something. Apparently he does that. I say apparently. That's apparently, guys. I'm not saying he does, but I'm saying apparently. So, for an example, when a certain former orange president was in charge of America, somebody's wife contributed a lot of money to the governor of Florida.
I wonder who.
Just saying. This is knowledge that's out there. It's not something I'm breaking. People know this. Just not a lot of people highlight this stuff. So, but yeah. But yeah, there's also the fact Walter doesn't particularly want to be in the US, so there is that to that particular aspect of it.
Yeah.
To be fair, he could also just be in Germany.
True.
Which, to be honest, I wouldn't blame him for. Especially with the way things are at the moment.
Yeah, it's a total shit show, so.
Yeah. Although, I was going to say, for us in the UK, we start to get certain restrictions lifted from tomorrow, and then we get a few more as we go on, and eventually in June we'll have none, as long as nothing happens. The rest of the world I'm not sure about, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, what's the likelihood of that happening?
Well, I hope I hope we do eventually go back to being able to have stuff, because there was a certain wrestling company who were going to have a pay-per-view over here, and it didn't happen because of COVID. And that really annoyed me, because I would have gone. So,
what company was that?
It's one we can't talk about on this show. Okay, we will discuss it when we go off air, but because it's not a WWE thing,
yeah,
well, I'm not going to go into details about it. But
I mean, I'm surprised WWE haven't come back over here like for a while. To be honest, last pay-per-view or anything like that was quite some time ago.
Actual pay-per-view, the one and only one they've ever done here is SummerSlam.
Yeah.
92. And the reason why they haven't come back, apparently, is, bear in mind, there's a time difference between us and America. So there's 8 hours on the West Coast and 5 on the East Coast. So if they're going to do a pay-per-view, what happened in 92 is the one we got shown on telly was actually pre-recorded. It took place the day before we actually saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it didn't do too well, because basically stuff wasn't live and things were taken out and not included, and there was a whole bunch of things that happened. It ended up being not very good for them. But bear in mind, that was 92. We're in like 2021.
Yeah, and travel's come a long way since then.
Yeah. So if there's the right sort of incentives, I'm sure it could probably be done, but I think
will they want to put the effort in?
Yeah. Also, it's how fanatical some of the fans are, because I think, leading back to what I said before, one of the other companies was supposed to come over here. I would have gone to that. If a WWE pay-per-view comes over here, I'm not so sure I'd go. It's got nothing. It's no offense to WWE or anything, but the atmosphere is different and the presentation is different when you're there in person. I mean,
yeah.
So I think WWE is one of those things where it's purposely designed for people watching it on television. They don't really cater to the live audience, at least not now.
No.
So, but it may be a thing. But yay! So basically, we're going to have 2 lots of women's tag titles for no reason. So, and apparently Dexter Lumis, everybody loves him.
Oh, Indy Hartwell totally does.
What makes you think that?
Miss Indie Wrestling Loomis.
Mm-hmm. Cool. As you meant, obviously did touch upon before, the NXT UK match, obviously match of the week, go check it out. Which I haven't suggested, so it should be up on the network by now, I would think.
I think it was up on Thursday.
Yeah. As I mentioned to Aaron, it was pre-recorded a couple of weeks ago, but I was told by a lot of people it was worth watching if you get the chance. I've not had the chance to sit down and watch it properly, but I've seen bits and pieces, and Aaron has watched it, so. definitely worth checking out. Unfortunately, if you're as busy as I get, it can be difficult to catch stuff. So you just try and do
Yeah.
what you can. You'd think during a pandemic I'd be less busy, but I've actually probably been more busy than I normally am.
Oh, I could say the same, but that's just because I take care of my mum.
Right. Because extra things get added to you simply because of what's going on.
I mean, like usually I'd be like streaming like on a daily like basis, like once, like 2-3 times a week. But like since I come down, I've only been able to do it once a week. Do the podcast with you, do the podcast with you and the guys on Wednesdays. It's been really strenuous. I haven't been able to be as creative as I normally would be.
Mm. Yeah, that's definitely a thing because the job I do normally is a creative job, and with the restrictions in place, it makes it hard to do certain things. I mean, there's stuff I still can do, but the restrictions. It's one of the reasons I started all the podcasts was a creative outlet to get people involved, and obviously, you're one of these people that's been involved, which is, I think, a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. I mean, it kind of gives us like a little safety bubble as well, like our own like way on a Wednesday of like talking to like friends, catching up, seeing how everybody is, like before we start the podcast and everything.
Yeah, one of the main reasons for these shows is one, it's fun. Two, we get to interact with other people. But the main thing is it's fun.
Yeah,
because it has to be fun, otherwise it kind of defeats the point of doing it.
Just a little bit.
So, yeah. Although, unfortunately, we're going to have to go on to Smackdown now.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because Smackdown is usually quite good, but apparently this week not so much.
It had its ups and downs.
I see clearly, and I'm going to recap again and again.
I mean, like Daniel's opening promo was pretty good. It's like it was gutsy. Kind of sounded like a Miz promo, but
No.
But yeah, it had a bit more like depth to it, like to his character and stuff.
No, you missed the obvious response to that. Yes. But yes, Brian is a better promo than Miz. Yes, we all know this. But go on.
But then Reigns came out and he did like kind of a promo saying, "Oh, who are you? I've not seen this Daniel Bryan before." It's just like, yeah, this same guy that almost tapped you out at Elimination Chamber like last week. But you have met him. Like maybe he's a bit shorter in person when you're not laying down on the canvas with your arm stretched behind your back. I mean,
well, it could also be the fact of maybe he just doesn't recognise him with his new haircut.
that too.
Because Daniel does like changing his designs and his style.
I mean, it was a good opening segment as far as like opening segments go.
Well, I think with something like that, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a placeholder instead of actually doing something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. But I made a mess of my notepad because of the whole King Corbin and Sami Zayn versus Street Profits thing. I was just like, wait, okay, so King Corbin and Sami Zayn versus Street Profits. King Corbin comes out, says he tells Sami Zayn to get lost and that he wants a singles match. So I'm crossing that out and putting King Corbin versus Angelo Dawkins. And it turns out that it's Montez Ford that's going to be fighting here. And I'm like, but he just said I want to fight Dawkins. I was like, So I made a mess of my notepad.
Do you know what's really bad about that? That just proves that Baron Corbin, a white man, cannot tell two coloured men apart. I'm not being funny. It's not like they even look similar. They have distinctive looks. They clearly don't look alike.
Montez Ford is as skinny as anything. Angelo Dawkins is a bit of a beefier kind of posture too.
And Montez Ford has a very good frog splash too.
Yeah, I'd like to see Montez Ford try and do something like that.
I think you mean Dawkins.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
You don't have the right haircuts to be Baron Corbin, I'm afraid.
I will in a few months.
Yeah, come back in October. We'll start calling you King Corbin. Yeah. It's still better than being called The Miz.
I make sure I head to Burger King beforehand and get a Burger King crown.
That would be amazing.
If he's still getting called King Corbin by then, I am going to go to Burger King, get a Burger King crown, and I will wear it on the October podcast.
It honestly doesn't matter if he's not, because the way WWE do gimmicks, you could still do it for 5 months afterwards and it'd still be relevant.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do the Baron Corbin music in the background, and I'll just walk in with the crown on. So that's going to be goals for October.
Yeah, it'd have to be a generic royal theme, because you can't just do that, because that'll be immediately struck for copyright. So,
well, I mean, if you purchase it on the Amazon Music store, then it doesn't matter, does it?
Yes, it does.
It does?
It does. Yeah, you can only play royalty-free music, or ones you have licenses to use. If you buy those sort of things, those are personal home use. You cannot use them commercially. So I had to find out, because I make videos for the photography stuff I do, and obviously I podcasted before many years ago, and I found out about that then, and obviously it's the same now.
Yeah, I'm just kind of doing a couple of things as well on my channel content, because one of my last Fortnite stream videos, I was kind of clicked up for copyright, because due to like some of the emote music in Fortnite. So I had to have it completely wiped off.
Well, the only way you can really make that, I think, stuff like that, is you kind of have to turn off the game's music.
Yeah,
because people stream WWE wrestling games, for example, like play-alongs, and the only reason that works is because they don't have the entrance themes on or any of the music. Because the minute the algorithms hear that stuff, you're going to be struck.
Yeah.
So I know a few people it happened to, so that's why I know.
I mean, I've done like a little trimming segment to take out the monetized area.
Yeah, probably the best way of doing it. Well, I did kind of appreciate your little inserted clip into the How You're Feeling thing you did on Friday with the clip from the podcast.
I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now.
Oh no, I've been watching it. It's just the fact you picked that one with Ben doing the dance.
It had to be that one.
The minute I saw you done it, I was like, I know exactly what this is going to be. My question is whether Ben's seen it or not, because that should be interesting.
I don't think he actually watches my YouTube channel.
Well, that'd be a nice surprise for him. We'll tell him Wednesday.
I mean, I've got I have on average about 15 views a week, and I don't even think he follows me on YouTube, to be honest. So it's just like this is one of those things, isn't it? Like,
yeah, the thing with YouTube is it's very hard to get noticed.
Yeah.
So it's only if like something catches on and people like follow you and subscribe and share and stuff. So, and even then, it's literally luck. I mean, with YouTube channels particularly, you have to have so many subscribers or a certain amount of watch outs before you can even monetize as well.
Yeah.
So there is that. But yeah, let's see. Oh, Bianca Belair defeated Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I was surprised by that, but I wasn't completely shocked, being as I'd already seen the announcement for Fastlane Women's Championship match, Women's Tag Team Championship match again.
Yeah, and that announcement was met online with complete and utter derision.
I'm
not
not
go down
surprised.
well at all.
Not surprised.
I just rolled my eyes at it. It's like, oh, it's copy and paste what they've been doing with Asuka for all that time when they had her as tag champion and singles champion. Now they're trying to do the tie in the women's singles champion and her number one contender in a match against the champions. So you're tying them all up in the pay per view before the match, before the event. They're supposed to face each other.
Yep. It's just like, are they trying to make more room on the card at WrestleMania so that way, like, they don't have to have the tag team championship, the women's tag team championships defended, because the Smackdown championships are already being defended by both the Raw and by both the champions in the match. It would be like, yeah.
Now, if WrestleMania was just one night, then sure, but it's over 2 nights. There's no excuse for it.
No, there isn't. Eat noodles.
Spaghetti, but yeah. But it's almost like, because Vince McMahon decided, he took one look at Wrestle Kingdom and went, oh, I want to do that. Because Wrestle Kingdom started to go 2 nights, and then WrestleMania magically decided to do it as well.
Yeah.
Although after this year, apparently next year it's going back to single nights again. So, but it needs to not be 7 hours long. My God, that's atrocious.
No.
3 hours and possibly an hour pre-show. That's it. So 4 at most.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I can't stay up until like 5 o'clock in the morning just to watch a pay-per-view.
Bear in mind, when it was 8 hours long, it was pretty much almost like 7 o'clock in the morning by the time it was done here.
Yeah. And I was just like, do I go to bed or do I just... do I go to bed or do I just, like, carry on with my day?
Yeah, it's like, is it worth it, really?
So I ended up falling asleep for half an hour, and then I was just like, okay, I'm awake, kind of.
Oh, the sun's up at that point. It's like,
yeah. I went to the paper shop and I got an energy drink. I was just like, I'm not going to bed.
To be honest, it was probably the smart move, because if you try sleeping during the day and try sleeping at night, it tends not to go very well.
I mean, I'd have much rather to have had the energy drinks that I have now instead of the rock stars that I used to drink. So I've been trying those new Sneak energy drinks, and they're actually really nice. Actually do the job that they're supposed to. I actually feel awake when I've drunk one, and I can focus properly.
Plug. You do post about it quite a bit, so plug.
Well, they talk to me on social media as well, so it's just a small little plug in there, just like kind of.
Oh, I'm not knocking
it. Small shout.
I'm not knocking it. Plug your stuff.
Sneak.
Yeah. Plug your stuff. I tell people all the time, if you've got stuff to plug it.
I mean, they're really good. They're healthy as well, so that's all I'm saying.
And if you want to know more, check out Aaron's Instagram, Twitch.
We'll go to sneak.com.
Yeah, and use the promo code.
I do not have a promo code. Not yet.
No, but if we keep banging on about it enough, they might end up going, hey, maybe you can give you a promo code. You never know.
Yeah. I am thirsty. I could just go make one.
Oh, what's this in my hair?
Yeah.
It's like,
look at that.
Have you guys never wondered why I constantly always make sure I have one of these around?
The day you get funded by Galaxy, you're just gonna have the biggest smile on your face.
I won't be available for the podcast. I'll just be laying there in my own galaxy pile like Scrooge McDuck and the money. It'll be silky smooth.
Oh no. The race between WWE, Sneak Energy, and Galaxy. Who gets to sponsor us first?
Yeah, I'm not sure WWE are going to sponsor me because of some of my opinions. But the other two, I think we have a shout out possibly for each, because I've never said anything bad about Galaxy and never will, because it's so delicious and everyone should try it.
At least once.
Yeah. Yeah, that again plugs. But anyway, before we get back, plug, right. Something I would definitely not be plugging though is the cage match in Raw with Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso.
I would also like to point out that before the cage match, they actually showed a replay of Shayna versus Asuka in the tag team match where Asuka's tooth went flying. They keep on bringing this up, and like with WWE, they don't normally do like this sort of stuff when it comes to like serious like injuries, like tooth flying and stuff. Because Vince sees blood and he's like, ugh. But like,
maybe somebody's finger slipped.
But yeah, it's kind of like got me like feeling, are they trying to push Shayna versus Asuka at Mania for the Raw Women's Championship?
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think it'd be a good match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it either, but they only show these kind of things when they're trying to build a little bit of a story onto something they think of in the future. So
yeah, there's usually a reason for it, or they've got some sort of point to it.
So like, that's one thing that I'd like to see. Like if that happens at Mania, it'd be worth watching just to see that match. To be honest,
I think so. We'll finish talking about SmackDown, but then we're going to get onto something related to Asuka, which we'll do at the end of SmackDown.
Okay.
So you'll understand why when we get there, because it will probably be horrifying.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
After the King Corbin versus Montez Ford, you had the Zayn versus Dawkins match. The best part of that match was Corey Graves saying that Sami Zayn makes the world a better place on commentary. That made me laugh for a 4 or 5 seconds.
Well, he does, as long as it's not in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because Sami Zayn is not allowed.
Nope.
Neither is Aleister Black, but for two very different reasons.
Yeah, Black for his tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Dominic versus... Huh?
Why isn't Sammy?
I don't know.
Don't you? Okay.
Oh, really?
Sammy's of Syrian descent.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and there's an issue between Syria and that part of the world, so that's why. But yes, you were saying.
So then, after that delight of a waste of time / match, you had Dominic versus Gable, and that match had a lot of potential.
Well,
but you can see that, yeah, but it could have been a lot better. Especially with like the whole making Otis heel thing that they've got going on at the moment. It's just, I'm not for it.
Yeah. The thing I would say though, in all fairness to that match, is you've got Dominic who's not that experienced, and he's working with Gable, so you're probably getting more than you should be getting out of Mysterio at the moment, simply because of his inexperience. And a lot of that's probably down to Gable. But yeah, when you've got the Otis part as well, you probably should expect a bit more, considering. But at the same time, it's not the worst thing.
No. I mean, we've already touched on Shayna versus Blair as well, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
It's just like with Reginald getting fired, I really thought that he would be out of the picture, just like Shu. go away.
No, but I think Vince likes Reginald. He's like, that man is such good shit.
I think the best part about that whole match and the whole segment was watching Sasha Banks actually get to slap him around the face and seeing it slow mo as well. I was just like, if this happens every week, I can smile for a brief second.
Can we just replace that with The Miz?
I mean, the fact that she was going like that with her hand afterwards, and you was just like, oh, if that's hurting her hand, can you imagine how bad his face is right now?
That's why I want it to be The Miz. Because out of the two of them, I think Reginald's got more ability. But there you go.
Yeah.
Just give my opinion, people. Whether you like it or not is up to you.
Yeah. I mean, then moving briskly onwards, you had Murphy versus Cesaro, and I was just like, oh, why? Why,
Yeah.
Murphy? Why are you going back to Seth Rollins? Why can't you just pretend that this never happened and go back to catering or something?
I can tell you why. Because basically, Buddy Murphy sat there in catering, having his drink, eating his food, and suddenly this mysterious voice went to him, "You must go to Seth. Seth will help you. Seth will help you." And Buddy's gone, not realising that voice you can hear is Bruce Pritchard telling him, that is your storyline, you've got to go bloody do it.
This was just like another match I was really excited for. Cesaro versus Murphy. Two great athletes. Murphy's like a really good wrestler, a good talent. Cesaro's an amazing wrestler. We've seen on like a weekly basis. Those two could have brought the house down. Could have been like one of the best matches in WWE this week. But it was just stale when you had the horrible Vision character on commentary and Michael Cole messed up at the last minute.
Well, no. Michael Cole had a vision.
Yeah, Michael Cole saw the ending of the match before it had even happened.
Exactly, yeah.
And Cesaro makes Buddy and Murphy taps to Cesaro. What a win for Cesaro. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, shit. I was 5 minutes too early. I think he actually might have just got bored of Seth on the commentating table, and he's just like, "Oh, can I speed this match up just like a little bit, like maybe even a couple of seconds?" Yeah, Murphy won. No, Murphy lost.
To be fair,
Murphy taps out. Oh shit, that hasn't happened yet.
I get bored of Seth on commentary as well. I wish he would fuck off.
Yeah, I think Michael Cole did, and that's the reason why he called the match before it had even been called by the referee. I was just like, yeah, okay, that's one way to get Seth off of commentating.
To be fair, Michael Cole, if that was his reason, I can't fault his logic.
No, I can't either.
That's what I would do too. Because it clearly doesn't work. I mean, we discussed this before with Seth Rollins. I don't like the gimmick.
No, I don't.
So I want it to be overbearing father who's giving the gift of life to children and loves his child and makes sure everyone looks at his baby pictures.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be hilarious.
I mean, it's like, yeah, just like sticking his hand in and trying to be the worst face imaginable. Like,
right.
Kind of Cameron Grimes at the moment with his $1 Million Man gimmick that he's like doing, but like being the father figure of that, not like a $1 Million Man. It's just like the overbearing character, because Cameron Grimes has got overbearing $1 Million Man to a fault. Yeah. He's got that, but
we want Seth to be overbearing, but trying to be a caring father type thing. Yeah. Which I think that would work much better for him than what he's doing at the moment. Because at the moment he's like, it's a vision. Yeah, that was on WandaVision, the Disney show, and that sucked too. So,
ooh, it could upset a lot of people saying that.
Don't care. I didn't like it. So
I've never watched it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
I didn't think I was, and that's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you're really not. It's not.
I
It's
mean,
nine. It's 9 episodes
like
of stuff. Yeah, it's 9 episodes of stuff you don't need to give a damn about
no.
because it's literally just the lead up to a film. That is what that series exists for, and that film isn't even going to be that soon. I mean, there's a Doctor Strange one which is like 2022, and the other one, if it's still going to Captain Marvel one, then that's probably about the same year as well.
Mm.
So it's kind of pointless and redundant, kind of like WWE Creative.
Yeah.
There you go, tied it in.
Yeah, then we went on to after Michael Cole's blunder and everything. You had the Reginald section that we touched on earlier with like Reginald guy in the Sasha Banks' dressing room, slamming the face, then walks into Shayna Baszler. She tries to bully him and like take piss out of him. And then
Nia says he's cute.
Oh, no, don't do that. He's kind of cute.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Is he a certified G and a bona fide?
Oh,
Cheap pop people.
Jesus.
It's suitable for this show.
Yeah. Oh, it's studying the show. But yeah. After that though, Apollo's promo. His accent gave me whiplash. It was on for the majority, but then there were sections he was going back to his normal, like American accent, and I was just like, this is triggering me so much. If you're gonna talk in an accent, talk in the accent throughout the promo. Don't say like parts of it in your native tongue and then be American for other parts. It's like,
I think it was kind of intentional, the switching backwards and forwards, because I think it was illustrating a point, as in, this is how you seed me, but this is me truly. And the accent is supposed to be him as he actually is, and the non-accent is supposed to be, this is how you accept me, because otherwise I'm threatening.
yeah, but now I'm just
Playing it for stereotypes, basically.
Yeah, but it's just confusing me. It gave me a whiplash. I was just like, is he supposed to be talking in an accent for the whole promo, or did he fuck up?
To be fair, it's the first time he's done it, right? From memory.
Mm.
In which case, it could have just been a fact of he just slipped, and he wasn't meant to have done that. So, because when you're bending a new character, I mean, give you a prime example of somebody who did something like King Booker. Now, Booker T has a very distinctive way he talks, right? But when he was King Booker, he put on a fake British accent, and it took him a few goes to get it down. And this could be what this is.
I mean, I like the gimmick. I do like it, but just sort the accent out, please.
I mean,
if you're
ultimately,
do it fully.
I was to say, ultimately, I think the important thing is whether you like the gimmick or not. And the fact you like the gimmick means it hasn't failed; it just needs to be refined.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool. I like the fact of doing something with him. He was so underused.
I mean, like, the way they've changed his music as well, it's subtle, but you know it's changed. Because, like, you can hear the Nigerian drums and stuff in the background. So, I mean, I don't know whether or not that's just me as a musician.
Oh, no. But WWE is subtle? What?
I mean, what wasn't subtle was the fact that he had two guys in kind of like soldier outfits follow him out to the ring for no apparent reason whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the guys was Bo Dallas out of catering or something, or someone out of catering that wasn't
Do you know
busy.
do you know what's really weird about that? He was being followed around by a couple of soldiers, but as far as I'm aware, he's not done anything. So why are they following him? Are they racist?
I don't know.
It's like in America, apparently. If you drive around in a car, if you're a black man in a fancy car, you get followed around by the police. You don't have to have done anything, but it's because you're in a fancy car.
Oh yeah.
So maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I'm guessing it's just a couple of like local enhancement guys, and they've just dressed them up as soldiers.
Probably.
So I mean, for all I know, yeah, Bo Dallas might be in a Scooby Doo mask, and he's one of those soldiers.
Maybe.
Or it's Alistair Black. Another person who got lost in the void that is catering.
Yep.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, I hope they do something. It's a good gimmick change for Apollo. Hopefully, he gets somewhere with it.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely. So, who else are we bullying now?
Well, that kind of leads us to the main event.
Exactly, bullying.
If my timeline's correct.
Yeah, that was the implication, bullying, because Jey Uso likes to bully, apparently.
I was really hoping that they didn't do a KO repeat of the steel cage match.
WWE like they're like falling back on certain things when it comes to certain matches.
I was really hoping that they wouldn't do that, and they didn't. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that's one up for them, I guess. Wow, you didn't screw up in the way I thought you would. That's good.
Yeah.
But did you screw up in total? Quite probably.
I mean, it wasn't the worst cage match I'd seen.
No, it'd have to go quite some distance to be the worst cage. For example, in my instance, it'd have to go some distance to be the worst one I've seen, because I've seen some really bad ones.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it wasn't that bad. Seen worse, but it wasn't exactly. It wasn't exactly good either.
But by the same token, I think the right person probably won.
Yeah.
Which, at least that's something out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, although apparently Jimmy Boy may be back any time now, so that may change Jay's trajectory. They could end up feuding or possibly, obviously, reteaming. You don't know.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they feud. And then it ends with them teaming. Like with Roman,
yeah,
or maybe like somewhere down the line, because like it's been in the pipeline for a while that The Rock is coming back for a WrestleMania match at some point. It would be good to see them feud, and then maybe The Rock get involved and have a tag team match with Jay and Roman versus Jimmy and The Rock somewhere down the line.
It could be definitely an idea. I think they're going to probably try and do The Rock returns to WWE. There's a WrestleMania in Hollywood in a couple of years. I think that's when they'll probably try and do a Rock thing. You never know.
I don't know whether or not I could put up with Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion for another 2 years, though. Just like, please, I hope he drops the belt soon, and then maybe get this whole thing again. Because to drag this whole head of the table thing out for a whole 2 years is just going to be. And then another thing as well, I can't see The Rock coming back to SmackDown. I think Vince would want him main roster on Monday Night Raw.
I'm pretty sure somebody of The Rock stature could pick where he wants, not being funny, because the way The Rock is now, he commands a lot. So he'd pretty much have to do what Vince would have to let him do what he wants, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been on like Instagram and paying attention to like The Rock's Instagram and stuff, he's been going to a lot of like health clinics and stuff like that, having like cupping done, like professional cupping and stuff like that. Like, so he's actually like looking after his body, and it looks like he's trying to get back into in ring shape as well.
To be fair to The Rock, he's always kind of looked after himself anyway. He's never not done so.
No.
Again, if you follow his Instagram, you kind of know this.
Yeah.
So, but it's not the worst thing. But I was going to say, you're saying about obviously they can't drag out Roman Reigns for 2 years as the Universal Champion. They dragged out the Authority for
3.
way longer than it should ever have gone on for. So it's not like WWE don't do these things.
Yes, they shouldn't, but they do.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, that's the end of Smackdown, unless I'm missing anything.
No.
Okay, we'll get on to the travesty of something that was meant to happen, but obviously didn't. You know there was supposed to be a Raw Women's title match at the last pay-per-view.
Yes.
Okay.
There was.
It has come out since apparently Lacey Evans was supposed to win the title.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Told you it was bad.
Why? I get it. Like Rick will probably interfere and cause Oscar to lose, but ugh, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Right. Thank God for her husband's sperm.
Thank God for missed contraceptions.
What contraceptions? I think that's the thing.
Exactly, missed contraceptions.
It's all good fun, but yeah, I thought I'd enlighten you on that one because I assumed you probably wouldn't have heard this.
No, I actually hadn't. Now I'm going to send that kid a gift basket when it's born, saying thank you. Oh. I mean, like fair enough to Lacey Evans. Like one day, hopefully, like she will be a champion. But just no.
I mean, that's the thing I was going to mention. Obviously, the circumstances in which this happened. Obviously, I wouldn't want her to have won. Nothing against Lacey Evans. I just think it would have been it's not the right story at the time or the right for her to do it. It'd be nice if she does it at some point, but I think this may end up costing her because obviously the timing issue is they've had to cancel it because she got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not allowed to do it really, but you'll never know if that's why they don't do something in the future because of the way wrestling works.
I mean, they did say that there was going to be a baby boom. The pandemic. I guess they were right.
We're just thinking about 20 odd years, we'll have like all their kids fighting each other. Seth's kid, Roman's kids, Lacey's kids.
I just hope Miz's daughter isn't as much as a pussy as he is.
Yeah, Miz. Yeah, you see what I mean, though.
Oh, brand new generation superstars. We love that. And you know that half of the people that, half of the kids that are there won't have to go through NXT. They just get given the floor because they're second generation stars.
Well, to be fair to WWE, there was an instance where somebody got onto the roster who never had to go through NXT at all and wasn't related to anyone and wasn't third or second generation or anything like that. The fans probably will screaming at you right now as to who it is, but you seem to be looking at me like you don't know.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not sure. AJ Styles, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, Mike Bennett also had it happen as well, but he's ended very badly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that had more to do with the fact he was married to Maria, who had already been WWE before and did very well for herself.
Mm-hmm.
AJ's different because AJ literally had no previous connection with anything and just came in.
I thought he was WCW.
For like a month before it closed. That was right at the very beginning of AJ's career. And I mean, the very beginning of AJ's career.
Mm-hmm.
So there are Monday Night Nitro episodes. If you go to some of the last ones, he's actually on them.
Yeah, the Aces and Eights.
No, that's TNA.
Oh no, that's TNA. Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, he was in a cruiserweight tag tournament thing in those episodes, so you can
Hmm.
see him, but it's literally like the last few before they get bought.
Yeah, I mean, I watched him in TNA, like, because I did watch TNA for like a tiny like bit,
Mm-hmm.
mainly for Jeff Hardy, but
Well, we've discussed before you like Jeff Hardy, so it makes sense.
yeah,
So, but yeah, particularly that time period, because you would have had Jeff Hardy there. Then you also would have encountered AJ, because him and AJ did encounter each other quite a lot.
yeah.
So, which is never a bad thing. I always enjoyed their matches.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when like AJ's music hit at the Royal Rumble. Like, I was really like shocked. I was like, wait, what?
Well, so was everyone else, because we didn't get to see it. We was too busy looking at Roman Reigns. Here's the thing, though. If you go back and watch it on the network, it's been corrected so you can actually see his entrance.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, but on the original broadcast, you're looking at Roman Reigns.
Yeah, and he's just like,
Yeah. Which is terrible.
he looks half monged.
He looks something, but God knows what it is. But yeah, so this week in WWE, essentially, we've had some good things, but a lot of very bad.
What would you rate it out of 10?
Well, the whole week.
Yeah.
Well, it gets special bonus points for the fact that Miz is no longer champion, so that always helps. Is that a Bruce we hear?
He's part pug, part terrier, but the terrier is terrorist.
That's fair enough. Out of 10 for WWE, I'd say probably 5.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. Possibly
So-
6, if I'm including NXT UK.
Okay, we'll be 6. We'll be reasonable, because we'll include UK. Yeah, so 6.
Yeah.
So, not the worst week, but not the best.
I mean, like that the Naoko Satomura versus Kaylee Ray match kind of gains a point for the whole week itself because of how good that match was.
Yeah, I would give you that. Yeah, definitely. So, but most of those other points are simply the fact that Lashley beat Miz.
Yeah,
because that's how good that was, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact they didn't do the obvious trope of having Drew try and interfere.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't.
So am I. I'm surprised they didn't do it, though.
Oh yeah, surprised, relieved, and happy about it.
So would you give it 6 as well, or would you have a different score for that?
Yeah, I'd say 6.
Sure. Okay. So, any predictions for what's coming up?
Well, we know Drew's going to get his rematch sooner or later. Depends whether or not The Miz gets his rematch at Fastlane first.
Do you think there's a chance of triple threat?
I can see it happening, but what would make me laugh the most is if it is a triple threat and then Miz wins.
Oh, can you imagine?
And then it's Drew versus Miz at Mania. And then it's a 6-second match where he eats a claymore and gets pinned.
I'll tell you this now, you have no idea how badly unpopular that will be.
It'd be so unpopular, but I can see it happening.
I mean, not the end part, obviously. Everyone would love that, but there were bits leading up to it. Nobody's going to like that.
It would make me laugh to see Miz in a 6-second match against McIntyre at Mania. Because Daniel Bryan had that with Sheamus a few years back with the Brogue Kick and new champion.
But to be fair, Daniel at least got to kiss a pretty girl first.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to. I'd actually find that hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And with a triple threat match, there's no disqualifications as well. So you've got the X Factor of Morrison, as well as the X Factor of the Hurt Business too.
Exactly.
But you've got McIntyre on his own, so it would be.
Well, no, McIntyre has his sword.
Yeah, but he's not allowed to use that.
Or if they put aside the differences, he has a Sheamus.
But I can't see them putting their differences aside. I still want Sheamus versus McIntyre at Mania, but Dad looks like it's out the window.
It's a shame for fame.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing puns. I'm sure everyone's worked that one out by now.
Oh, somebody punish us.
Yeah. It's just too much puntastic fun going on here.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. You need to get a T-shirt that says that, by the way.
I do.
Because the amount of times you say it, you're better off just pointing to a T-shirt.
I mean, in the past week alone, I've literally, I think I've said it more than I've, even thought about it. And my friend put a post up on Facebook about different star signs and what different people they are, kind of people. And
Yeah.
I put underneath it, I is what I is.
And did that correlate with your star sign?
Yeah. Because they had me under Psycho.
It is what it is.
I is what I is.
Well, if you want to do it for WWE thing, it could be like a Hulk Hogan thing. I am that I am. It's his arm tattoo, is what it says.
Didn't know that.
Although if you actually see the arm tattoo and look at the font of it, it looks like it says jam that jam.
Jam that jam.
Which I never noticed this myself. Okay, I'm going to credit to where this came from. Right, there is a quiz show out on the internet by Wrestle Talk. It's called Quizomania, and one of the panelists on this show, they were doing bad wrestler tattoos.
Yeah.
And this guy noticed this, and he made that reference, and that's where that comes from. It's not from me. I did not make that up. And it's been a thing ever since. It is hilarious. But the first time you show it to somebody, you can't get it out of your mind. Once you've seen that and somebody tells you that, you can immediately see it, and that's all you see. You don't even see what it normally says anymore.
It's like one of those optical illusions.
Right. So if somebody ever meets Hulk Hogan and he does that, they're going to say, jam that jam. And then somebody's going to try and explain it to Hogan.
I mean, one of my tattoos, people see that part of it, and when you see it's blue, they think it's a dolphin. But if I I don't know how to do it. If I turn my wrist enough, I can't really.
That would be quite difficult. Yeah.
It's a hammerhead.
Yeah.
But people always say, "Oh, I love your dolphin," and I'm just like, I turn my wrist around and show them. They're like, "Oh, it's a hammerhead." Oh, I'm like,
well, you know what you do, right? If it's a pretty somebody you like, you just say thank you very much. If somebody you don't like, you just show them the hammerhead. Yeah. See, I think it works. So, but yeah. Well, we've managed to get to the end of this week's WWE stuff, so
yep.
So goody. Right. There was something I was going to mention. Obviously, I mentioned about the Lacey Evans thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good idea for somebody. So
I need to send that kid a gift basket when it gets here.
Yeah, in about probably 6 months, because usually it's 3 months when you announce stuff. So, going by the calculations. So, and probably also thank her husband too. So,
sure,
because I'm pretty sure he had a bit of a hand in it. Well, not a hand.
I don't think you could say an input.
Well, I'm pretty sure he got his pushover.
Right, input and output.
Yeah, he came out on top. Yeah,
Yep.
he made the cover.
Well, he didn't cover her.
No, but she submitted.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I think we'll stop on the euphemism sort of.
Innuendos.
Yes, right there, because I'm sure we can do much worse and go much further, but I don't think everyone needs to hear that. So,
No.
right. But what we will do before we disappear is we will once again show you Aaron's charity page. So go check it out, guys. Go support it for the Epilepsy Society. As Aaron says, it's a very personal thing to him. The man has epilepsy, so it's good support. Also, it's his birthday month, so not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, it's also somebody's birthday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have something special for him on the Sorting Stuff podcast.
Oh no.
So it should be fun. And once again, check out our sponsor. Great guy, does wonderful work, very talented. Great fun. Yes, it's me. But no, in all seriousness, if you do need any sort of photography work, do check it out and see what we can do. Yeah, so at that point, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to put over or anything to push. Are you streaming at all this week?
Should be streaming tomorrow because my streaming Mondays.
Is that the Twitch?
That's the Twitch. The Twitch.
Yeah, I love how you did that on Wednesday. And Kira thought you were having a seizure.
This is like.
Obviously, I've seen you doing it on the screen, and I was like, I know what you're doing. I can see her and Ben talking to each other. And I'm pretty sure
the horror on her face.
And then there's you later on going, "Come on, Ben, Twitch with me, Twitch."
My Twitch.
Oh, that stuff was funny. But yeah, check out Aaron's stream tomorrow. The link for his Twitch is in the description for the show, so you guys can check that out there and stuff. Obviously, you can find us on the YouTube as well. Obviously, there's here. Aaron's YouTube channel is also listed in the descriptions there as well. Cool. So I think that's. Oh yes, don't forget to like and share. Damn it, that way. There we go. His stuff. It's weird because I literally have to point to the wrong side to make this work on screen.
Yeah, same.
His stuff, all charity stuff. It's all good. Hi.
Oh.
Phone home. ET phone premium sex lines. Anyway. Why do you think his finger was so glowy? It's because it's sore from all the dialing. Anyway.
I thought he swallowed a glowworm and it just made its way to its finger.
I can make a very inappropriate joke and not the time or the place, so I'm leaving it there. Right, we'll see you guys later. So cheerio. Enjoy your wrestling week, people. And we should be back at the weekend unless something comes up, because you know how the world is right now.
TTFN.